Hey guys! In my last Q&A video, I asked you if you wanted to learn more about the winter holidays in Russia and hear a funny story about it. And you said that you wanted to, so here are 10 facts about the holiday season. Number 1. The holidays in Russia begin later and last longer than in many countries. For many of you, the holidays have already passed, but in Russia, the public holidays have finished only a couple of days ago, and we even have one more holiday today. As I mentioned in my previous video, we don't celebrate Christmas on December the 25th. Of course, there are some people who celebrate it because of their religion, but for the majority of Russian people, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day are the most important holidays. And that's because in the USSR religion was banned and Christmas celebrations were prohibited, but after a few years all the Christmas traditions like decorating a Christmas tree and giving gifts were transferred to the New Year's. So official public holidays begin on January the 1st. In 2020, December the 31st was also declared a holiday, and they last at least till January the 8th or even a few days longer. Like this year, the 9th and the 10th were a weekend, so people got back to work only on the 11th. However, shops, malls, restaurants, and other entertainment facilities are open through the holidays, so there are still plenty of people who work during this period. Number 2. The Christmas tree isn't a Christmas tree. Since the New Year's is the holiday, we call our Christmas tree Новогодняя ёлка, meaning New Year's fir tree, and it stays up for the rest of the holidays. Many lazy people, myself included, can leave it up even longer, like until the 8th of March, or so-called International Women's Day, the first spring holiday. Number 3. Holiday wishes. It's okay to wish someone a Happy New Year beforehand. In the days leading to the New Year, we say «С наступающим», short for «С наступающим Новым годом», roughly meaning «Happy approaching New Year». And even though Russians are not very chatty with strangers, you can add this phrase to the usual set of hello and thanks that we say to clerks, cashiers, and couriers. Some people even smile while saying that. And after midnight on January the 1st, we say «С Новым годом». Number 4. The food. On December the 31st, most families have a very late dinner with many dishes, including a few salads. The most popular one is Olivia salad, which includes potatoes, carrots, pickles, green peas, eggs, chicken or bologna, and mayonnaise. I like this one a lot. Another popular salad is селедка под шубой, literally meaning herring under a fur coat, or dressed herring. This one I personally don't eat because it has beets in it and I hate it. The preferred drink to toast the new year is sparkling wine, we colloquially call it champagne, and many labels will say that on the bottle and then in small letters below, sparkling wine, because it isn't really made in France. Of course, nowadays you can also order some pizza or sushi because most delivery services work till around 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve. Number 5. What's on TV? There is a movie that is broadcasted every New Year's Eve. It is The Irony of Fate, or Enjoy Your Bath. It was released in 1976 and instantly became a classic. It's a really good rom-com with some famous actors of that period, with beautiful music by Mikhail Tariverdiev. A group of friends meets at a banya in Moscow to celebrate New Year's Eve. The friends all get very drunk, and one of them is supposed to get on a plane to Leningrad later that day, but some of the guys pass out, and remaining friends can't remember which person is supposed to catch the plane. So they mistakenly send the main character, Zhenya, on the plane. He wakes up in the Leningrad airport believing he is still in Moscow. He stumbles into a taxi, and it turns out that in Leningrad there is a street with the same name and with a building at his address which looks exactly like his, and even his key fits the lock. Later, the real tenant Nadia arrives home to find a strange man sleeping in her bed. I highly recommend you watch this movie. Later at night, while people are gathered around their dinner tables, many watch a short presidential speech. It comes on TV at 5 to midnight, local time, in each of Russia's time zones. Bonus fact, there are 11 time zones in Russia, so you could celebrate the New Year 11 times. And at midnight, the Kremlin's Spassky clock tower chimes, the Russian national anthem plays, and the fireworks begin. Number 6. Russian Santa. Our Santa-like character isn't a saint. His name is Ded Moroz, Grandfather Frost, and he leaves gifts secretly under the Christmas tree on the New Year's night. Instead of elves, he brings along his granddaughter, Snegurочка, the snow maiden. Also, his sleigh isn't pulled by reindeer, but by a troika, 3 horses. Both of these characters have some roots in Slavic mythology, but the version that is popular now was developed in the 1930s and 40s. In some of the old folk tales, Ded Moroz isn't such a nice guy. He could freeze you to death, for example. And in others, Snegurочка is his and Spring the Beauty's daughter. The residence of Ded Moroz isn't on the North Pole either. It's considered to be in the town of Veliki Ustyug in Russia. Number 7. Holiday songs. Of course, as a musician, I can't help mentioning holiday music. Obviously, Christmas songs like Silent Night or O Holy Night don't fit the narrative, so our holiday songs are usually about the New Year's celebration, Ded Moroz, the New Year's tree, or the wintertime in general. There are many popular songs from the Soviet-era movies and cartoons, as well as some pop hits from more recent times. And of course, international classics like Let It Snow or ABBA's Happy New Year are well known too. Number 8. Chinese New Year in Russia. Even though the Lunar New Year comes in February, many Russian people use some of the symbols during the New Year's celebration. There are souvenirs, lucky charms, and cards depicting the animal symbol of the year that many people give each other as a small gift. Some people also consider it good luck to wear something that fits the symbol of the year. For instance, 2021 is the year of the white metal ox, so you could wear something white and metallic. Number 9. Christmas is observed on January the 7th. It became an official holiday again only in 1991. But why is it not on December the 25th? Well, it kinda is, but in the Julian calendar that is used by the Russian Orthodox Church. According to this calendar, December 25th falls on January the 7th in the common Gregorian calendar. And all that is basically because of the Russian Revolution. Before the revolution, Russia used the Julian calendar, but in 1918, the Soviets proclaimed separation of church and state and then switched to the Gregorian calendar. But the church didn't, hence the difference of 13 days. Actually, not that many people celebrate the Orthodox Christmas on January the 7th either. Some religious people go to church to celebrate it, but non-religious people usually stay at home with their family. Christmas in Russian is Рождество, so if you want to wish somebody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, you can say «С Новым годом и Рождеством». Number 10. Old New Year. This one is actually a logical extension of the previous point. January the 1st is considered the new New Year, since it was only recognized as a holiday once Russia switched to the Gregorian calendar. The Old New Year is celebrated on January the 14th, according to the Julian calendar. This celebration is smaller and it isn't a public holiday. Many Russians spend the day as any other day or quietly celebrate at home. And here's a bonus for those of you who stuck till the end. The story of the most stressful New Year's Eve. A few years ago, our drummer Sergei landed a New Year's gig with a cover band. At that point, we didn't play covers ourselves, and he asked me to be their sound gal for the night. I wanted to celebrate with my friends, but the restaurant the band was supposed to play in wasn't that far from the friend's place, so I agreed. The plan was pretty simple. First, drive to the friend's place and leave the food and drinks there in the afternoon. It was a potluck kind of party, and we also were the ones with a big car. Then drive to the restaurant for the sound check and play the gig later in the evening, and then get back to the friend's apartment around 11:30 to celebrate. This plan left us with some spare time even, but of course nothing ever goes as planned. The drive to the friend's place was uneventful, but as we parked near the apartment building, we noticed that one of the back tires was almost flat. Apparently, we punctured it while driving through the courtyard looking for parking. Later, it turned out that it was some kind of a big metal handle like half of the pliers. We couldn't change the tire there because there was a lot of snow and it was very cold, and I think we didn't even have a jack that would fit properly because it was a back tire of a large van. And then, of course, we didn't have much time. It's not easy to get a taxi on such a big holiday in Moscow, and getting to the restaurant on foot with all the gear we had wasn't an option. So we called a bandmate who lived nearby. Boy, was he a nervous driver. It felt like everybody on the road was out to get him. Anyway, we got to the place all right. We had a sound check and I placed an order in an app like Uber for a taxi to pick us up around 11. However, again, nothing goes as planned. The gig got delayed, so we were cutting it really close. And as the band was playing the last song, I saw that the taxi was coming. The restaurant was situated on the ground floor of an apartment building. It's a pretty common thing in Moscow. There might be some offices, shops, or bars on the ground floor with their entrances facing the street, while the entrances to the apartments face the backyard. I specified in the order that the driver of the taxi should meet us near the restaurant entrance, but as I was gathering all our stuff in a rush, I saw that he parked on the other side of the building. I tried to call him and ask him to move, but he declined. In other circumstances, I would have just cancelled this order and waited for another driver to come, but we didn't have the time because we definitely didn't want to meet the new year in a taxi. So we had to walk with all our gear around the building, and it was a long one. But our adventure wasn't finished. When we got into the taxi, the driver said that he wanted us to pay cash, even though I chose a card in the order. Supposedly, his previous fare was paying with a card and he didn't get the money. And lucky us, we didn't have any cash. After unsuccessfully trying to reason with him, we had to call the taxi company, and only after that he started driving. I think it was around 15 to midnight, so we barely got any time left. Even though every taxi driver in Moscow has a GPS navigator nowadays, this guy wasn't very good at reading the map or following the directions. He missed a turn that led to the shortest route, and the time was running out quickly. Finally, we arrived at the building at 11:59, ran to the entrance, and entered the apartment right as the clocks were striking 12, like Ded Moroz and Snegurочка, really. Our friends were greeting us with glasses of champagne, and we were just in time to yell "S Novым Годом!" I personally love to watch videos about other cultures, and I hope you enjoyed this one too, and maybe learned something new about Russia. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Happy Old New Year! I will see you soon. Bye!